Hey guys, in today's video, I'll be going over some of the best units in Update 15.5 of Anime Adventures. All these units are insanely good and are the best of their respective types units. If you enjoy this video, liking and subscribing would really help me out. But without further ado, let's get right into it. First, you'll want a good and reliable ground DPS unit. Ground units and ground enemies are the main type of enemies, so it's really important to have a good unit for this. For this, you can use Doflamingo. He does a ton, and I mean a ton, of single hit damage, and he even does more than Dio over Heaven. If you don't have Doflamingo, you don't have to grind for him, but I would highly recommend it. Some good replacement units, though, are Kirito, Skull Knight, and Heathcliff. All of them do very high damage, and Skull Knight in particular, I have heard that he has some cracked DPS numbers. Heathcliff, I've used him before. I haven't even evoed him yet, and he already does an insane amount of damage. So really, any of these units can be a great start to getting a ground unit, but I would really recommend Doflamingo. Alright, next we have some options for your air and hybrid units. Air and hybrid units tend to do a little bit less damage, but can still be very viable, because, I mean, nothing else can really hit airs. So, first, we got Guts. Guts is absolutely insane for the amount of damage it is, and, like, the amount of work it takes to get him isn't even that bad. It's not that much of a grind, and he does up to 260,000 damage, level 100, with no trait. This is with standard stat rolls, guys. You can even roll his stats higher than that. He's also a hybrid, so he can hit ground and air, and I'm pretty sure he's a ground unit, so you don't even have to place your hill units like where Guts would go. And did I mention that he does bleed damage and can also deal crits? Like, this is absolutely insane. Like, if you slapped a Lost Vein on him, he'd do some insane damage numbers. And honestly, he might be the best unit in all of Anime Adventures. Another very good unit is Metal Knight. Metal Knight's very OP for this update due to his Coco Knight skin, which buffs his damage by, I'm pretty sure, around 2 times, and also increases your drop chances for the clams for sure, and it may even be the Poseidon portal by 50%. He's also a very good unit outside of the update due to his insane damage and range and his drones that help him out. All that stuff combined makes him a very viable unit. Some other great hybrid units are Pride the One, Tengen, and Poseidon. All of these I would recommend, especially Poseidon in particular. I would recommend grinding for him. I've heard he does around the same numbers as Guts, maybe a little bit less, and Tengen also does some insane damage numbers. And all of these units do around 20 to 30,000 DPS, which is very good and some of the highest in the game. And overall, they're the best ground, air, and hybrid units in the game since they deal damage to all types. Next and lastly, we got supports and moneymakers. Supports and moneymakers are absolutely like essential for Anime Adventures if you want to get the most out of your units. I would definitely recommend investing your time and like just your gems and stuff into trying to get as many useful supports and moneymakers as you can. First, we got the slow freeze units like that make the enemies go slow. And the best ones for those, at least from what I've seen, are Amelia and Tatsumaki. Now, I am going to mention Amelia is, at this point, unobtainable. And I think she is going for, like, maybe around 15 trait rerolls. She's not too expensive, but, like, at this point, I would just go for Tatsumaki if you don't have her. Tatsumaki in specific does some very good DPS and amazing support capabilities, and her range is like absolutely cracked, guys. Like, I would not mess around with her range. It's some like of the highest that I've seen in the entire game. As for Amelia, she's like the best slow unit, and you can place up to 5 of her, which is absolutely crazy for a mythic unit. And yeah, both of those are some of the best slow units, but now we got the actual supports and moneymakers. First, we got Usoap. I know a lot of you guys have surely heard about Usoap. He is one of like the best units in the entire game, maybe the best for his category. His damage is literally unrivaled. He can kill bosses alone and do 20 million damage at max if he has all of his little trap things placed down. One thing for Usoap, I would, like, if you guys don't know this, then yeah, it's kind of obvious, but don't put unique on him. You want as many Usops as you can because you want a lot of the trap things. If you put unique, he's gonna place down less, and sure, he's gonna do more, but like, you really want as much as you can. But one cool thing about Usoap, actually, guys, is that he deals true damage. Now, if you guys don't know what true damage is, true damage bypasses the defense and the shield of the enemy. So if the enemy is naturally, like, defended or has shield or anything like that, it'll cut through that to their normal HP bar. It also does hybrid damage, too, so it can hit ground and air. So it's like a tac tower from balloons. I would totally recommend Usoap. He is well worth the grind. If you want to increase Usoap and overall your unit's damage even further though, I would definitely recommend Griffith. He is the best support in the entire game. I'm talking the best support unit like ever. Better than like Orwin, better than everyone else. The reason for this is you can sacrifice other buff units like Orwin and other buff units like him to buff Griffin's like buffing abilities. I'm pretty sure you can over like triple your unit's damage, which is absolutely insane, like at max. And if you think about that compared to like Orwin or other buff units, absolutely insane. If you don't have him though, you can use I, also known as Oshi, as she's like currently in the banner and really doesn't take that much to evolve. All you need is the idle microphone, and she also does a fair bit of support, kind of like Griffith, but just a little bit worse. And the best moneymaker in the game is currently Bulma, who can make up to 10k a round with no trait. And I'm not sure if Golden actually affects her rates. I'm 90% sure it does. But if it doesn't, let me know in the comments section below. And if you guys have any other unit recommendations or recommendations for other videos, definitely leave a comment below. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, as it would really help me out. And thank you guys for watching. This has been some of the best units in Anime Adventures. Goodbye.